Welcome to the REPXPERT Conference vlog. Ahead of the REPXPERT Conference on the 22nd of May, I'm talking to industry professionals about the aftermarket, the challenges, the opportunities, and the reasons why garage owners and technicians should be considering attending the event. My guest today is Matt Selby, Sales and Marketing Director at Schaeffler Automotive Aftermarket UK. Matt began his career at Schaeffler in 2007 as an apprentice in the sales department, and after a brief spell away, returned to the company in 2015, taking the role of Northern Sales Manager, before being promoted in 2020 to National Account Manager. He took his current role in 2021 and has been 17 years in the industry. I'm delighted to welcome him today. Matt, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, no, happy to be here, Phil, and really excited to be talking about the REPXPERT Conference today.
Well, just on that subject, the conference coming up quite quickly. Why should technicians and business owners, garage business owners, be thinking of attending the conference?
Yeah, it's a good question, a valuable one, and for me, the conference itself offers valuable opportunities for both technicians and businesses, business owners in particular, to enhance their skill set, their knowledge when fitting Schaeffler components. Our workshops, our seminars and presentations will cover a wide range of topics that really are relevant to the current and future technology within transmission, engine, and chassis. And I think furthermore as well, the networking, the free access to the wealth of resource, and to stay updated with what's new makes this show, I would say, a standout in the market.
That's important though, isn't it? Because networking, when we look at shows and we talk about shows, we think very much about the products that are on offer, the speeches, the talking, the presentations. But the networking is key as well, isn't it? Meeting other people in the industry, whether it's technicians, business owners, suppliers, and just having that face-to-face chat.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I think it's fostering that knowledge exchange, isn't it? That's really important. And look, we're all here to develop, to engage, and to sort of innovate ourselves as well as the business from the workshop point of view. So I think if we can inspire people to network and engage and sort of think about the bigger picture through the conference, hopefully that will bring an opportunity for growth to everyone who attends the show. From both businesses and colleagues alike. So yeah, we're very excited about that.
Now, we're in a period where the automotive industry as a whole is facing a number of challenges. It's changing, it's adapting. I think technology take up has increased over the last decade or so.
Yeah.
For the aftermarket, for garages themselves, what challenges do you think that they're facing?
Yeah, it's an evolving market, isn't it, Phil? And I think cost inflation within workshops, and a lack of rich resource in the trade is problematic. So there's genuine concerns out there, I'd imagine, within workshops. We see that less than 20% of apprentices within the automotive sector of the college area of automotive, should I say, transitioning into mechanics is just such a low number, and ultimately it results in lack of capacity within the market. So finding the right people, and there's not necessarily that organical growth coming from that direction. So I think our job, well, we feel we have some responsibility here to support ideas and initiatives to share our experiences to try and drive people into the industry, and hopefully relieve some of those frustrations. And I think by having all these people together in the conference will only help improve that situation for that one particular point.
Because it really is important to get that next generation in now, isn't it? We're looking at almost a tipping point. There's talk of skill shortage, more technology, fresher minds. That's all going to help benefit garages and the aftermarket going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And that we know there is a challenge, as I said, to get people into the industry. Maybe they don't see it attractive at the moment. I think we have to broaden their horizons to the bigger picture, not just from a mechanically minded view of the industry, what else is out there commercially as well. And I think that we as Schaeffler have to take some responsibility, as do other suppliers in the market. And I just feel this environment, this forum, a face-to-face forum, will bring that opportunity to the forefront, and hopefully drive the conversation and drive engagement and inspire some new ideas as well, more importantly.
So on that, I mean, what else can be done really to inspire the younger generation to come in? What could garages be doing?
I think there's a number of things they can consider really to encourage garages. I think one, they need to be more commercially focused, and think about, one, are we offering the right level of salaries? Again, they're the experts on this. They need to tell us, are they offering the right rate to the market? Are we attracting them financially with a package, to discourage these younger generation of people coming through being swayed by other industries? I think that's one thing that needs to be looked at. And I think if you look at the rates of labour at the moment, we see through certain data analysis engagements that are going on in the market at the moment, we can see that labour rate is increasing. So hopefully that does bring a more attractive view from a financial perspective. But at the same time, maybe we need to just shout more about our industry and highlight all the good things that we can do through colleges, for example. And there's maybe one example I can give. I recently presented at Trafford College, which was to students, and I think there was over 70 in total over the 3 or 4 sessions. And really, the concept was to try and get them engaged and see that bigger picture again, both mechanically and commercially, and get them to see that whilst they look at the aftermarket or the automotive industry as one particular tunnel vision mentality, which is what they told me, we can try and inspire them to show them that there are other potential avenues that keep them within the trade, and once again just drive them into our market. So I think we do our bit, and ultimately I think everybody else has to jump on board to that as well to really support the industry.
It's moving, as I said, is that with technologies coming in, the old perception of the workshop, the hands-on, the getting your hands dirty,
Yeah.
that still exists. That still exists for quite a lot because there's still a lot of moving parts in a vehicle that need to be serviced. But also there is that technological aspect where, as we talk about software in vehicles and coding and diagnostics and just tracing elements and breakdowns, it's becoming almost a shift, I'd imagine, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I think some garages, certainly the ones I've spoke to in the last few months and years, they are quite nervous about new technology coming through, wary maybe. And I think garages aren't different to any other industry. They have to approach the new technology that's coming through with a balanced perspective, Phil, I would say. And whilst embracing that new technology, which can bring numerous benefits, increased efficiency, customer experience, we talk about, enhancing their capabilities. There are some risks around that as well, and challenges that need to be considered. So I think when they look at their capabilities, they're not then hopefully overstretching themselves. They're doing the cost versus benefit analysis, but training and skill sets are really crucial. So they need to prepare to invest in people and tooling as well, but with a long-term viability mindset. And ultimately, they have to see the return on that investment. And we know it's not that easy, but ultimately from these new product areas, these new technologies across the board, there will be some return for them, which is crucial to growth.
And we're seeing more. I mean, for starters, ADAS is more and more prevalent in many of the vehicles that are on the market today. Different sensors, different types of systems coming into that, adaptive cruise control, emergency braking, and more. Electric vehicles as well, their numbers are growing. We've now got, I think, 1 million on the road, but with the zero emission vehicle mandate, that's going to increase as car makers are pushed to deliver more. So should garages be prepared for those areas as well, especially with electrification?
Yeah, I think it comes back to my previous comment. It's about finding that balance in perspective of what's here now, what can we work on currently, and also, thinking to the future model and embracing that technology. I think we have to be realistic that not every workshop will be able to customize to the modern world, and they may not be able to invest for many different reasons. But I think ultimately, to answer your question, Phil, yeah, they have to sort of future proof their business and consider all aspects of electric hybrid vehicles and the technology that's coming through. The software, the tooling investment is going to be big, but clearly I think the return on doing those jobs will be fruitful. And if I just give an example on transmission, we're currently working and training through double clutch technology that will evolve to the next generation of hybrid technology within transmission systems. So I think it's important they see the opportunities and find their niche ultimately, because not every garage, as I said, will have the capability to take on absolutely everything. And ultimately there'll be a unique element to that.
And I guess as well as a supplier, you see it from the other angle. You see the componentry going into these vehicles, so you've got a different take on that side of things, I'd imagine.
I think so, and I think if you ask any supplier, we'll all have a difference of opinion as to how the market is going to evolve, what's important now to going for. But I think one thing's clear: everybody is focusing on the next generation of technology to some degree. But I don't think we should lose that focus on core products. If you look at the age of the vehicle park, it's very clear that we're driving a lot of new business now through existing product lines, and I think that would be the case across the board. So there's certainly opportunity there from now up until that legislation point, which potentially may remain or may get moved. We have to see where the government lies with that. But beyond that, we've got to adapt and change our business strategies from a supply point of view, and obviously down to the workshop point of view as well.
That's a good point with the aging car park. We've seen that go up in recent years, and I think COVID-19 may have had an effect on that. Do you think drivers are holding onto their cars for longer? And if so, is it a case that the aftermarket can actually help to drive the automotive market forward, possibly more than in the new car sector?
Yeah, I would say so, and we've all seen the numbers. There's plenty of data out there in terms of the age of the park and how it's continuing to grow. There's many different scenarios and stories that they're out there at the moment in terms of how it will play out going forward. But I think ultimately there is the service need there on these vehicles, and we're coming into the sweet spot on certain applications. Maybe transmission at the moment, there's that sweet spot of people replacing their clutch maybe even more than once on the same vehicle is where we're potentially going towards, which is something that is quite rare and unusual and something we probably haven't seen before. Other components will see that replenishment more frequently as well, but I think we just have to embrace the position we're in, and if we can then drive the automotive sector from a wider point of view, then hopefully that helps the industry as a whole in its whole entirety.
So, with that in mind, then conferences, events like the REPXPERT conference, they're going to be increasingly important going forwards for garages to understand not just technologies, but also how to really sort of drive their business forward in terms of being able to accept as much work as they can without pushing their workers too much.
Absolutely, I think conferences like the REPXPERT one we have upcoming, they sort of play a multifaceted role in advancing the aftermarket industry. Again, as we said earlier, by fostering that exchange of information, networking, professional development, the innovation, and most importantly, the collaboration that comes from that. It's really crucial, and we all know the realities of block exemption. So if we can do our small part to foster that collaboration with everybody from workshop to supplier, then we'll take the opportunity to do so. And I think these events, they do contribute to growth, and hopefully I'm right in saying there's resilience as well in the aftermarket. Our whole ecosystem of the aftermarket. Hopefully that benefits all the professionals out there and businesses alike. And hopefully, if it's successful, we can continue this process of a conference to keep engaging as close as we can with hundreds of technicians out there.
It's a great central point, isn't it, to bring people together. And I think as well, I think during the COVID-19 crisis, I think we realized just how much we missed that face-to-face interaction. I know I was happy when I was able to go out again and speak to people in person at events, and I imagine for garages, the time that they take there is going to be invaluable for them.
I suppose the summary for me of this show, as I've said to a number of people, Phil, is ultimately we want workshops to be engaged but also inspired. I think they're sort of the key takeaways, and that hopefully it's a bit of fun along the way. We would like to, we enjoy seeing these people. You're right. I think during COVID it was quite frustrating for everyone being away from each other, and this is just a great platform to get everyone back together, get our ecosystem fully up and running again, and hopefully inspiring the current generation, but also finding the new generation in there as well, that we can get them on board and keep them in the trade. More importantly, that's key.
That's it, isn't it? Because it's inspiring Brilliant is one thing, but giving them security and the ability and further training to make them feel like they can progress is going to be really important. We don't want that high turnover rate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, training and skill development is crucial. There's a lot of opportunity within the market to train and advanced technicians. We at Schaeffler will showcase a lot about the show, as will our partners who will be there as well. But then you take Andy Sauer, the garage inspector, and others alike who offer, the skill set to change the mentality within the business itself. Not just on the repair work they're doing, but how their business is presented, how they can be more profitable. This all plays a part in this ecosystem I was referring to, and I think that's crucial. We all have to play our part in that development, and look, we take a lot of pride in that as well, Phil, and that's really important. We want to do it. It's important to us, and we want to inspire.
It's going to be an interesting few years ahead, I think, but I think we can definitely set I think the industry can set off on a very good path.
Personally, I'm a fan of trends and data. So some of the colleagues that are joining us there are talking about trends in the market. So I know I'll be interested in that sector, and hopefully other people coming along will be the same. And you're right. I think hopefully we want to see that upward trend, whether it be bringing youth into the trade, whether it be profitability, whether it be inspiring new technology coming through. We want to see that incline on those graphs, and I think that's really important. And again, it just revitalizes the whole industry when we're going in the right direction together. So yeah, it's something I'm really looking forward to, and seeing the engagement.
Matt, that's everything. Thank you so much for joining me, and looking forward to the REPXPERT conference.
Yeah, pleasure. No, thank you, and thank you for your time.
And don't forget to register for the REPXPERT conference on the 22nd of May. You can find more details at www.repexpert.co.uk, clicking on the Events tab, or by scanning the QR code at the top of this screen, where you'll go straight to the registration page. Watch out for more conference vlogs in the coming weeks, but thank you for watching now.